the internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
If you truly don't have faith in me, then I promise you it's over. I'm going to put an end to this nonsense once and for all.
I will not rest until that girl is dead. I'm still going to kill her tonight, no matter what.
Here is your court notice.
Who's the letter from?
Sagar just sent me a notice to get Krishna's custody.
Ganga.
Brought to you by
Hyundai or Hyundai.
10, 9, 8, 7.
CVM TV in association with Express Fitness and Exodus Carnival presents Fit for Fet, the ultimate workout series to get your body ready for the road. Tune in 5 a.m. every morning, Mondays to Fridays, starting April 7th to get involved in high-impact workouts by some of the best in the game. Bring your mats, bring your water, and let's get fit for the fit with Express Fitness and Exodus Carnival, powered by CVM TV.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at Noon for Monday, March 31, 2025. I'm Courtney Lewis. Thanks so much for joining us. 4 people, including a mother and her son, perished in a fatal motor vehicle collision along the St. Catherine leg of the P.J. Patterson Highway on Sunday. With the nation again in shock and grief, authorities appeal for greater efforts and heightened road safety measures in reducing the number of fatal crashes and road fatalities. Shante McNeil reports.
Struck early Sunday morning on what authorities considered one of the island's safest highways. A 2-vehicle crash along the P.J. Patterson Highway in St. Catherine claimed 4 lives, including an 8-year-old child, a moment no one saw coming. Head of the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, PSTEB, ACP Gary McKenzie, explains that a grey 2002 Toyota Probox heading in the direction of Kingston with about 11 passengers seemingly lost control, causing the vehicle to overturn.
Whilst the persons were attempting to get out of the vehicle, we understand that a Benz SUV motor car traveled along the said roadway heading into Kingston in the same easterly direction when it crashed with this vehicle. As a result, several persons were hit. We understand that the driver of the Toyota Probox motor car, as well as 2 female passengers and a young female child, were hit and died as a result of this crash.
Among the victims, a mother and son duo. They've since been identified as 8-year-old Troy Stewart of a Golden Avenue address, 29-year-old Wendy Lamy, 22-year-old Taisha Manhart, both from Papine, and 27-year-old Andre McLeish of a Tavern Avenue address. It's an incident that has dealt a massive blow to many, including Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, Dr. Lucian Jones.
I just received the shocking news that early this morning, 4 persons died on the Nations Road. 4 one time. 2 women, 2 males, 1 a young child, 8 years old, all under the age of 30. This is absolutely shocking. The police report suggests that somebody was speeding. There was distracted driving. And there is an inquiry about a collision with a vehicle in a previous crash. This is our worst nightmare come true as road safety advocates.
Dr. Jones says urgent action is needed to curb reckless driving, which continues to shatter families and lives.
Everybody has to be on deck with this. The entire nation. Try and put a stop to this kind of multiple fatality crash. We continue to speak. We continue to warn, we continue to work with civil society and the government, especially with the police, to try and put an end to this. It can be done. But every hand has to be on deck to stop this kind of carnage and pain and grief.
So far, 92 lives have been lost in over 80 fatal crashes since the start of the year, a toll that keeps rising. Shante McNeil, CVM News.
Uncertainty looms as the authorities investigate yet another fire at the Pernell Charles Arcade in Kingston on Sunday. The cost of the damage is yet to be ascertained, and the number of affected vendors remains unclear. More from Nika Lewis.
Fire again destroyed a section of the Pernell Charles Arcade in downtown Kingston, just 4 months after the entity was affected by an inferno. At about 1:18 Sunday afternoon, officials from the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, were alerted by the Kingston and St. Andrew Fire Department that a section of the building was on fire.
Unfortunately, another fire occurred here at the Pernell Charles Arcade, just months after one occurred here in late 2024. This is confined to another section of the arcade where some stores were on fire. I believe that about 4 units from the fire brigade have attended with several members of the fire brigade who have put the fire under control, and they're now doing cooling down operations as well as assessing initial damage.
Members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force were at the scene to man the chaos as vendors hurriedly tried to save as many items as they could. Meanwhile, Chief Executive Officer of the KSAMC says standard operating procedures are being followed as they await the outcome of an investigation.
We're going to have a meeting led by His Worship the Mayor, the heads of the Commercial Services Unit, along with my administrative team. With the members of the arcade, they already have a structure in place with a president and an executive and so on. So we'll be meeting with them to conduct a walkthrough and an assessment. Again, I'd like to reiterate that our insurance coverage does not cover contents, but rather the structure and the building. So those things will have to be discussed as well.
Nika Lewis, CVM News.
Jamaica today has the strongest economy since its independence. That's according to Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. He was the guest speaker at a recently held Manchester Chamber of Commerce Awards banquet. The event was held at the Bloomfield Professional Centre, Mandeville, Manchester, and attended by several prominent figures, including Opposition Leader Mark Golding and JCF Commanding Officer for the parish, Deputy Superintendent Kerry Duncan.
And on every metric, whether it be inflation, unemployment, exchange rate, debt to GDP ratio, balance of payments, net international reserves, or a measure of poverty, the facts are undeniable. Jamaica today has the strongest economy since our independence. When I speak of the economy, sometimes there is a sense that we shouldn't emphasize the economy. There is a sense that, and the best way to describe it is that the economy can't yam.
And the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining has recently launched its export clinic aimed at building Jamaica's agricultural market. Agriculture Minister Floyd Green explained the initiative is under the Export Expansion Capacity Building Program.
For us, this is a pivotal step in moving Jamaica's agricultural sector forward, as a deliberate approach by the ministry to strengthen our export capacity. We don't just want to speak about us focusing on exports. We want to be able to highlight the initiatives that the ministry has put in place to ensure that we're taking opportunities of, as you have heard from our state minister, the fact that all over the world, people are clamoring for Jamaican products.
After years of complaints about inadequate supply, over 1,000 residents in Mason Hall, St. Mary now have access to potable water following the completion of Phase 1 of the government's multi-million-dollar water supply project. Water Minister Matthew Samuda says the $70 million investment is just the beginning, with further expansion planned for other communities.
But this is a part of our larger investment portfolio. That for the citizens of Eden Park, that scheme, I believe councillors in St. Mary would know it very well. Yes. Eden Park Prime Minister, I don't know how familiar you are with it, because it was done by a former administration and they built the houses, 100 plus homes, cut up land for others. And Prime Minister, you know, they hand over the houses and never lay no pipes. So I'm here to advise citizens of Eden Park that we have completed the procurement. The matter is to go to Cabinet. It will enter contract in April and work will start on a $128 million system for the citizens of Eden Park in April.
Over $100 million has been injected into STEM education and development in the ministry's Region 5, with the latest Smart Lab donated by the Digicel Foundation recently. It's the third of its kind in the ministry's Region 5, with the first recipient there being the Harry Watts Primary School. Senior Education Officer in the region, Nevadine Gallimore Miller, welcomed the gift, which she notes will fuel innovation in teaching and learning as the island rides the technological wave. And now we take a break. Stay with us. We'll have more news in a moment.
Transform your outdoor space into the perfect place for unforgettable memories. With Outdoor Projects Limited, we bring style, comfort, and durability to your outdoor living. Visit 29B Cardiff Hall, Runaway Bay, St. Anne. Call 876-920-1949 or email outdoorprojectsjamaica.com to book your consultation. Outdoor Projects Limited, bringing life to your outdoor living.
Get tiles and get creative with your floors, walls, and all the spaces in between. Our knowledgeable sales consultants are happy to help create your beautiful finish with the latest designs in first quality porcelain, wood look, vinyl, mosaics, natural stones, and countertops. At Creative, you will get every tile you need for your residential or commercial projects. Creative Building Finishes, your one-stop shop for everything tiles. Visit our showroom at 5 Red Hills Road or call 876-929-5553. Get tiles, get creative.
So you would have take a call while crossing a busy street? You would have zoned out while driving through half a tree? I know say you definitely would have sent a text while climbing Don River Falls. So why you do it when you across the road? Stay alert, man. Every step matters. Pedestrians, look out before you step out. A message from the Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport.
Welcome back. It's time now for a discussion segment. The announcement from Finance Minister Favour Williams that the Development Bank of Jamaica will eliminate upfront fees for MSME loans has been warmly welcomed. This significant step will ease access to funding for small businesses, promoting innovation, job creation, and economic growth. Joining us to discuss the impact of this change is Antoinette Hamilton, President of the MSME Alliance. Welcome, Ms. Hamilton.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. So let's get right into it. Ms. Hamilton, how do you think the removal of upfront fees for MSME loans will impact the overall growth of small businesses in Jamaica?
Okay, thank you. So it will impact them tremendously, because what it means is that usually you would have to find the DBJ fees, the bank fees, as well as funding to get the audited financials done. DBJ fees, roughly about 2.3% of the principal amount of the loan. So if a micro entity, for example, is borrowing $10 million, then you're seeing where they could save $230,000. So they wouldn't have to find that upfront. Instead, what will happen is that $230,000 will be priced in the loan and they'll pay it over the tenure of the loan. So they might pay an extra $2,000 per month or so, but it will remove the upfront burden to find that $230,000. So it will make loans more affordable for our MSMEs, and so they can now retool and benefit from the accelerated capital allowance that was introduced in the budget. So it provides a tremendous opportunity for them to be able to access the DBJ loan. Previously, access was the issue. Right. So the funds were there, but in terms of the affordability, they were difficult to access.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break. Stay with us. We'll have more on our discussion segment in a moment.
The Time is brought to you by Ford Territory.
Now we're still discussing MSME help, a little assistance, a little ease in terms of funding. And we're joined by Mrs. Antoinette Hamilton from the MSME Alliance. Now, you just told us, funding is a little bit more accessible. So, what has the feedback been like from members of the Alliance?
Well, the feedback has been tremendous. They're indeed happy that this roll-up of the fees by DBJ has taken place. It has been something that we have been advocating for a couple of months, and to see it come to light, they're extremely happy. What is important now is that they seize the opportunity to go and access this DBJ facility. We're still waiting on further details from DBJ in terms of if there is a limit on the amount and how long will this offer be for, but as it stands now, it has been announced, and so our micro, small, and medium enterprises can, approach different AFIs, the approved financial institutions, which include commercial banks, and ask about the DBJ loan, and they'll have that opportunity to not having to pay the upfront DBJ fees. And if you're thinking about, say, a medium-sized entity that wants to borrow, say, 100 million to, say, purchase a warehouse space, 2.5% of that, you're looking at a lot of money.
So
that's 2.3 million that you'll be saving.
That's a whole heap. How does the MSME Alliance plan to support businesses in accessing these loans and ensuring they're really equipped to manage them effectively?
Okay, so we have been, so yes, we understand that some of our MSMEs, they are not loan ready. That is something that we are well aware of. And so one of the things that we have been doing is public education. We have submitted a proposal to the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce called DMAP. It's Digital Management Accounting Project. And what that intends to achieve is to get our MSMEs financial statement ready and accounting records ready. So it will provide them with the accounting software and the support from accounting professionals to ensure that they are actually doing what they're supposed to do. Because what you find sometimes is that it is not until they're ready to borrow the loan that they realize that they need to ensure that they, for example, pass all the money through the bank account. For example, ensure that they have a accounting software where they capture all their financial information. And so we are working with the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce and other stakeholders to provide capacity building opportunities, as well as this project, which is intended to benefit up to 100 MSMEs.
So what other financial or policy reforms would you like to see in place to further strengthen the MSME sector in Jamaica?
Well, there are a few that we would have proposed, one of which has been endorsed by the opposition spokesperson on finance, which is a 2-year tax exemption on profits for corporate income tax, that is, for newly registered companies. So we're using that, that will allow for new companies to be formed and benefit from a tax exemption. So they won't pay corporate income tax on profits for up to 3 years, based on what the opposition is saying. We had asked for 2, but they are proposing 3. What this will do as well, it will encourage those in the informal